Today is February the 7th, 2023. The time being 3:33 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter whether you the proclaimed toughest or the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't even matter whether you like anything that I say or do or produce on YouTube or anything on social internet. That's your prerogative. You have a first, you have a 14th, you have a fifth. You have so many rights to the United States Constitution, as long as you do it in a peaceful and respectful manner. What I want to show you all is a pattern. You know, sometime when an individual kills somebody or kidnap somebody or do something wrong, there'll be some of the same ones out there saying that they helping you search for them. There'll be some of the same ones trying to contact you. Now, looky here at Michael Vallet. I never knew the man in my life until he first contacted me. And I believe it was in April. I believe it was April the 30th of 2021. Now, the reason why he contacted me, he didn't tell me at first, but with the exception that he's a friend of my son, Brian Lamont Johns. Michael Vallet, as you read along in this message, you will see some things why he contacted me. Now, you remember it's April the 30th, 2011, he contacted me via Messenger, and you can see the thing saying that we wasn't friends on Facebook. Now, when he first contacted me on the 30th, little that he didn't tell me when he contacted me on Messenger is that on the 29th of April, 2021, a day before he contacted me, the police had information that him and his wife, Katie Babcock, that's Babcock, Vallet, a white woman, got caught on video spending my son, Brian Lamont John's food stamps. Now, this was 39 days after my son was dead. Later, I think it was the next day, May the 1st or something, we'll go up. But he contacted me again and listen to this here. This is what he says now. I'm a friend of Brian's. Remember, my son been dead now. My name is Michael. I met and befriended Brian 20 years ago while we were in state prison together. I served 17 years. This is me, yes. He did 14 years and 9 months the first time. Michael, when I was released in 2018, I was doing grassroots work in the community in Carbondale, Illinois. And we crossed paths because he came to an organization that I was doing work for. I believe it was the Center for Empowerment. I think someone murdered him and took his body to that location where he was found. And this is Michael. I believe the same thing. Now, he believed the same thing. How is he believing the same? How do he know anything about what happened to my son? we gonna find out later, though. Now, he's spending his food stamp card. He getting food. But let me go ahead and continue to read. Because I was released in 2018 from Danville Correctional Facility. he had returned to prison on a parole violation, and we rekindled the relationship that we started back in 2001, during which time he told me that he had been in Carbondale, Michael Valley stomping grounds, before he went to the pen and did the 17 and a half years for murder and drugs. Sometime after I was released in 2018, he had returned to Carbondale from prison in 2019. I believe, and ever since I had been looking out for him as best I could whenever he would call on me. He been looking out for him, y'all, getting his food stamps, taking him to get drugs. I like to come, this is me, I like to come there and meet with you and some of the people that you think not, who you think's not afraid to speak up. I can't hardly see it, y'all. I'm getting old. I like to have a peaceful, organized march in that area where he was found. That's me. Now, Mike. I am more than, this is Mike. I am more than willing to sit down with you and offer my assistance in any way I can. Listen to this real careful, y'all. real careful. I've been in the streets before. Don't know anybody say this here. I'm not afraid of anything that crawls or walk upon the earth. So my voice in my hands and feet is at your service in honor of him. I was hoping to be able to talk with you because I know about his struggles, and I can point you in the direction of some of his associates. Now this, I'm blocking his number out, but this is what he said. This is my personal number. You see the 618, but I'm gonna come back to the rest. All right, I made some typos in here, but I'll tell y'all what I was telling them. This is what I told him when he talked about his personal number. I said, I typed him back. Good morning, good blessed morning, Brother Michael. To the best of my recollection, I was putting should have been at the beginning of May 2021. You told me you wanted to sit down and talk to me because you knew about my son's Brian's Lamont John's struggles, and you could point me in the direction of some of his Brian associates. You never, I'm telling them this, you never told me about his struggles, nor pointed me in the direction of any of his associates. Is that information still available or handy? If so, it might be helpful information to my circle and I, who's conducting our independent investigation into my son's Brian Lamont John's death. It's not a game nor a joke to us like it seemed to a circus to some people in that city/town. Speaking of Carbondale, Jackson County, we would appreciate all that information you have whenever time permits you to give it to me. It's important to us. Thank you in advance. Peace be still. Raymond Lewis Ivy, Brian Lamont John's dad. I meant to type to the best of my recollection in the beginning of May 2022. This is the last time that I done heard from Mike. I will give you a call this afternoon. You see when that was? June the 15th, 2021 at 8:12 a.m. But I want to show you something now. Michael Vallet, every time I attempted to get to meet with him, he always came up with an excuse. He never met with me one time, not once. He called me a couple of times, I believe in May, because we exchanged numbers, because I didn't trust him, but I seen some of the things that he was telling me. And when he contacted me and found out the detective was investigating him and his wife in April, but Mike called me in May and told me that the detective went to his wife's job, Katie's job, in May sometime, to the Carbondale, Illinois, Rebound High School, and asked her, do she think him, Michael Vallet, her husband, murdered my son Brian for meth? Then while we was talking on the phone, he said the detective had called him and let him call me back. And after he got through talking to the detective, he called me back and told me that the detective wanted to meet with him that day. And I showed y'all the interview. My point is, he said that he was working for a grassroots organization when my son got out, and he was trying to help my son. How is you trying to help my son when you knew my son was on drugs, but you and your wife would spend his food stamp card? You not only spent his food stamp card, he didn't know, because y'all had his card. He didn't know during the pandemic that they started giving him $95 cash plus $230 worth of food stamps. And you told the detective you was giving my son $95 for his food stamps. If you was giving him $95, that means you gave him the $95 cash that was his already. In actuality, you didn't give him nothing. You and your wife, she's a school teacher, you working for a grassroots program, then you know that if you gave him 95 cash and he was getting 95 cash plus $234 worth of food stamp, you ain't gave him a damn thing. You gave him his own money. But we know you told me different than what you told the detective. You told me that you couldn't remember exactly how much you was giving my son because you and your wife had other people's food stamp card. Then you had the audacity, before I found out what type of individual you was when you first started texting me, you didn't tell me on the 30th, you didn't tell me on the 1st, but when we started communicating on the phone, a little bit after the 1st of May, 2021, you told me, I want to tell you something. I got your son's food stamp card. I used to be helping him out, giving him cash for it, but you couldn't tell me how much cash you was giving him. But here it is. You had the audacity to ask me, did I want his card? Did I want his food stamp card after he been dead almost 2 months? And you and your wife been spending his food stamp card. You asked me, did I want his card? You didn't ask me, can we help, me and my wife help you pay for his funeral because y'all spent his money in March and in April. We know you didn't give him nothing in March and April because he was dead. You see what I'm saying? At 2021, you probably wasn't giving them too much of nothing. You go over to the homeless shelter, Samaritan home, praying on him and some of the other homeless people in there, giving them a little bit of nothing for their food stamp card. And the other ones probably didn't know they was getting cash. The police didn't put this in this report. And I told them, you told me you and your wife was getting other people food stamp card. But at the same time, when you get his money, get his card and give it to your wife so she can feed her 4 kids and you and her, you would take them over to the drug house. But I want to show y'all something else. What Michael Vallet had texted me, I believe it was June the 21st or June the 20th of 2021, letting y'all know why he didn't get arrested and his wife didn't get arrested, because he got ties with the newly elected prosecuting attorney, Joe Cervantes. And his wife didn't get nothing done to her because the black NAACP president, Linda Flowers, who is on the board of the Police and Fire Commission and on the school board would block anybody, from doing any type of investigation to Michael Valley's wife. Linda Flowers do the investigation. The board she on, they do investigation of police wrongdoing, so they ain't gonna see nothing. And I contacted her on March the 24th, 5 days after my son's death, and told her about what was going on. But let me show you this other thing. I want to show y'all something else. This is something that Michael Valley, I gave my number. Didn't trust him, but I had you. Sometimes you have to keep individuals that you suspect of doing wrong close to you. This is what he texts me. You can see when he texts me, May the 1st, 2021, at about 12:05 p.m. He said, "This is Michael. Can you send me the link to the video of Brian's funeral?" And I told him, yes, it's about 3 parts. I'll send them to you. For sure, I got your back. Wait a minute. I'll accept her. Speaking about one of his friends, I'll accept her if someone has some vital information. They can contact you or I can't even pronounce her name, Tia, and y'all can contact me. This is an individual that first seen my YouTube videos about my son's death, and I got somehow connected with her. She was friends of Michael Valley, but this is what Michael Valley saying. He said, "For sure, I got your back, brother." Then I said, "Do you know much about the new chief of police of Carbondale, that is? They just made their permanent chief of police in Carbondale, Illinois, on April the 29th, 2021. April 29th is when they busted Mike and his wife using my son's food stamps. Ain't that something? But take a case close up look now. What's his name? That's Mike. I know that they had a acting chief for a little while, and his name was Reno. Mike know a lot, don't he? Let's go. That's Reno right there, y'all, showing when he was a made chief of police. Now, he said, yeah, I know him. Back in the day, he started out as a regular cop. Mike know a lot, don't he? Over a 20-plus year span, he moved up the ranks from a regular cop to his current position. Back in the day, he was over ambitious, so he locked a lot of people up. I personally can't tell you whether or not he would be of any help, because my knowledge of him and his professionalism is outdated. He ain't got a lot of information on him. But as it go down, you're going to see who we got information on is the newly elected a prosecuting attorney. I really want to, wait a minute. I really want to wait with you, work with, that's meant to put work with you and any other people you think we can trust. I had a typo there. This is Mike. I will do whatever is within my power to assist you and your family. I've been talking to some people on my own to attempt to track Brian's last movements down. Now, how in the hell is you going to attempt to get his last movements down? Is when, and you'll see he got his stamps. So if he got his stamps every month, he should know where Brian at. Let's go to the next one. I have the personal, listen to this. This is Michael Valley. I have the personal number to a Jackson County head prosecutor, but you can't tell him that you got it from me if decide to use it. He's newly elected. I don't know if he will or can be of any assistance to you, but you might be able to get some attention from his office as a concerned parent. Don't tell he got his personal number. Who all get the personal number of a prosecuting attorney, especially a new elected one? Then you're an ex-con, and he know a lot about the police, don't he? Just let me know if you would like to have it. This is me. No, I'll pass on that. I think we have the ball rolling. This is Mike. That's good. I'm just going through my bag of arsenals. Ain't that a bag of his arsenals? He say. I met him when he was, speaking of the prosecuting attorney, campaigning, and we had a good exchange, during which time he gave me his number. I have plans to trying to get a sit down with him to discuss Brian anyway. Me, you have to go back and correct the spelling of Brian's last name. You have Johns. It's spelled Johns. Then he said, okay. Let me see. I know. No, let me see. Oh, good evening. This is me. Good evening, Brother Michael. What is the last time you talked to Brian on the phone? See, I'm getting information. He think we friends, but I'm doing my own investigation. What is the last time you talked to Brian on the phone? What is the phone number he called from, or you called him from? This is Mike. Let me see. I know the last time he called me, he had used someone else's phone at the gas station. How you know you used somebody else's phone? At the gas station. And this is June. No, this is January the 4th. About 10:20 a.m. And he said this, Brian, this is a thing that Brian texted him on. And this is the number. The last time he called me was around March or I guess he's saying March the 11th. But at that time, to use the Circle K gas station phone to call me, and then he used some random guy's phone to call me. Do you have the random guy phone number in your phone? And this was he saying, I guess he say, look, but I want y'all to see something. On March the 11th, 2021, it's documentation that Brian was at the Samaritan house, where the people called the police saying that Brian said he wanted to commit suicide. Now, remember this. It's in some of my videos. But this is the last time he talked to him. March 11th, the ambulance took Brian to the hospital in Carbondale. But then, for some reason, later on, they just released him. Now, who releases somebody that talk about committing suicide? But the lady at the Samaritan home told me she told Brian to tell him that he wanted to commit suicide by, I don't know if she said by hanging himself, but she said because that's the only way they would keep him in the hospital so he can get the help he want to recover from his drugs, because they kept on just letting him right back out. But now, you see what he said? He called him on March 11th. Go ahead. Okay. And this is the last time, and he never really got back with me as far as the phone numbers that he claimed that Brian called from. I just want to show y'all a pattern with Michael Vallant, a convicted murderer, drug dealer, then out working with the grassroots programs, saying that he's my son's friend. What type of friend would get his food stamp? Then you see why the prosecuting attorney ain't prosecuting him, because he said he got the prosecuting attorney's personal number, he can give it to me, but don't tell him I gave it to him. He know all about the chief of police, Reno, all the way from when he was just a plain cop until he got promoted to chief. We see why him and his wife didn't get charged with using my son's food stamps. And then so happened now, on the day that my son was found hung, Michael Ballard was at St. Louis getting some type of surgery on his arm. But see, the police didn't get his phone and ping it. Didn't get his wife's phone and ping it. But I just wanted to show y'all a history of Michael Ballard. Do this seem like this is a friend of my son's? He wanted to see the video of my son's funeral, but he ain't never volunteered, him or his wife, to make up all the money that they stole from my son, giving him a few dollars when he had $95 worth of cash and $234 worth of food stamps. Not once did he ask, can me and my wife help you all on the funeral, help you get his body back to Chicago from Carbondale? That would be a friend. But he offered to give me the card back in May because him and his wife got busted. They can't use it no more. You remember the 29th of April was the last time they used it. I'm going to leave this here right here. Y'all take a look at Michael Valley. Take a look at Carbondale United organization ran by Nancy Maxwell in Carbondale, Illinois. What would she hire a person like this for as a violent interrupter? Take a close-up look at it. Why haven't his wife, Katie Valley, been arrested and Mike haven't been arrested? It's because they got ties with the prosecuting attorney. I'm showing you the facts. They got ties with the chief of police. They got ties with Linda Flowers, the president of the NAACP. We see they have ties with Nancy Maxwell. Linda Flowers, on the board of the Carbondale, Illinois High School. The acting mayor, Carolyn Harvey, and the city councilman, Junior Rye Sanders. All these black people that has all these ties, even have ties with the Muslim imam Abdul Haq, who got, I believe, almost $200 and something thousand either from the United States Justice Department or the city of Carbondale, supposedly to be getting youth jobs. Check it out. These people is letting this guy work with him, and that's why we can't get no justice in the cover-up of my son's death. That's why I've never been in the newspaper. That's why ain't no newspaper want to hear my side of the story, so I can show a different side or another side of what the police put in a police investigation. Peace be still.